performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just, I thought we had a decent start, to be honest with you, in the first. And, you find yourself down 2-0. It's a little disappointing, but I think it speaks volumes with the group with just what we went through the past couple days, not being at the top of our game and not having a great start, but to bounce back, being down 2-0 and come out of the second being up 3-2 is obviously, an ideal situation for us. So, I know it's 2 games into the season, but we prove we can, turn the corner when we face that adversity.
As you say, this is 2 games in, but it didn't feel like you guys needed this?
Yeah. I think, even when you win the game or see that empty net go in by Simon, it's there's definitely a feeling of relief, right? And a big kill there at the end. Telbs had some great saves, some great block shots to keep it at 4-3. So definitely a big win for us.
We heard about the mess
after the first period.
where I was going.
Go ahead.
No, that's where I was going. You're good.
I didn't hear the question.
What was said after the first period?
Not much, really, just to kind of, stick with it. It's not like we came in and we had to change, our whole game or anything like that. But, could see we started to turn the game there in the second. We had a lot of shifts in their end, a lot of good changes. Getting fresh guys against some of their tired guys was a huge momentum swing.
How important was just getting that Casper goal? Because if you go down 3, it could be a completely different story.
That starts with JT, Copper, and Brands' shift there. They have a great shift. They get off the ice. They put us in a good position to get out there fresh against some of their tired guys. We make a turnover, and that was a great catch and release there by Cast to find us our first goal. It was a great shot. So obviously a good feeling there when you make it 2-1.
How much is goal number 500 on your mind as you start to get closer?
No, not really, to be honest with you. I think more just getting off to a good start. Trying to find my game early in the season is, one thing I definitely didn't do last year. So I think, getting off to a good start is definitely important for me this year.
Speaking of milestones, Lucas Raymond's 100 career goal. How have you felt about his performance since you've become his teammate?
I think he's just progressing every day, every game. Obviously each year I've been here, he just gets better and better. And, the thing you love about him is he wants to be the best. He puts the work in, whether it's, during practice or off the ice, finding ways to, better himself. So he's been really impressive since I got here.
What were you most encouraged by that you saw tonight relative to Thursday?
Just, sometimes I know it was 1 game, but you get yourself into a hole. The vibes weren't great in here, but I think just keeping it positive was huge, and we knew, we have a good group in here that can compete with anyone. So, and then being down 2-0, playing through that adversity, finding a way to get the first one, and really turn the corner there in the second period. To come in 3-2, I think was a good feeling for everyone.
Did you see the rookies to play much more to the way they can tonight compared to the other night? It was probably tough for them to stand out when things were going as badly as for the whole team.
No, there's a reason they're on the team, right? There's a reason they made it out of camp, and obviously when you're a young player, there's a lot of potential, but I think more so what they can do during the game to kind of help us. You look at Finney, great speed. Nygaard has great shot, physical, strong on the puck. Axe can make plays with the best of them back there. So the future's bright with those 3, but give them confidence, let them play their game, and bring what they can to the team.
Brent Nygaard seems to have that act too, to find the seams in the offensive zone, in position to get the shot away. Yeah,
he stays on the puck. He's aggressive. He's strong on it. I think he accepts contact really well, and like you said, you play with 2 good playmakers like Copper and JT. They get the puck, they're looking to make a play to the slot, and he's finding himself there. So those 3 have been really good throughout the first 2 games. They were good in Montreal too.
What a pass from to bring it to you for the timer there. Would you just chalk that up to your long-time chemistry?
Yeah, for sure. That's just pure chemistry right there. Him turning the corner, try to lose yourself behind some of their D, and he made a great pass, but right in my wheelhouse. I just had to kind of get good wood on it and put it on net. So, that was a great play by him. Thanks, Skinner.
Thank you guys to play the way you did tonight after the opener.
Huge, right? did not come out the way we wanted to, and that's far from the way we want to play. And cleaned up a lot of stuff, and I think the way we looked tonight, even through 3 periods, even being down 2-0, it was a good 60 minutes of hockey.
100 career goals. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, it's fun. Obviously, I didn't know about it, but it's cool. You don't take that stuff for granted, and always fun to score. So I look to keep that going.
How much did it resonate with you, what Todd said the other night about kind of the time is now? There's not time to kind of wait and fix some of these things from game one.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in situations a couple years in a row now where it's come down to the end where, the margins are very thin, and it's about getting off to a good start, putting ourselves in a good position, and getting good habits. We got all the tools in this locker room and around us to be a really good hockey team, and, we have the confidence to have it as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's huge, right? If we can replicate this game, I think we'll be in a good spot.
Not so long ago, you were Emmett Finney, trying to make a name for yourself in this league and sticking around after a good training camp. When you watch him, does it bring back memories? And I guess are you kind of impressed just the way he doesn't seem to be fazed by the moment?
Yeah, for sure. We were talking about it yesterday with opening night, that it feels like it was not that long ago, but times move fast. And I think for Emmett, just the way he came in training camp, rookie tournament, the way he played and, made his mark, it was fun to watch. And like you said, he's not faced one bit. He plays this game with his speed, and, obviously very exciting for him to get his first point today, and hopefully first of a lot.
Just a second ago, Patrick Kane said that you want to be the best at everything and you're always striving for improvement. What does that mean for you coming from a bona fide Hall of Famer like Patrick Kane?
Yeah, obviously fun. Kane is huge for us, and not just the stuff everyone sees on the ice, but off the ice as well with his leadership. And it's fun to see the work he puts in every day, and it's great for young guys to come in and just being able to watch a guy like that. I remember when he came in, and that was the thing that stood out for me right away. So. Yeah, he's a big part for us.
You 5 guys had great chemistry in the power play last year. Do you feel like you kind of picked up where you left off this year?
Yeah, it's new year, obviously, right? It's different. I think for us, we had a good year last year on the power play, but we want to take steps there as well. And when you played a full year together, you learn each other, you learn each other's tendencies, and at the same time, other teams also do. So I think for us, it's about finding new ways to score, being creative out there, and we're not going to score every power play, but as long as we get momentum for the team and put ourselves in a good spot, I think it's successful out there. So for sure, 2 games, 2 goals, so I'll look to keep that going as well.
What does it do for the bench to see Simon step into a couple scrums there in the 3rd period?
Yeah, it's fun. Simon plays with a lot of emotion. He's a competitive guy, and you need that, right? It's about doing it on a every night basis, and the same way control it, and put our team in good spots. So he does it all out there, and it's fun to watch.
Thanks, Ray.
Todd, what were some of the biggest differences you saw today in comparison to Thursday?
Well, we didn't give up, the bushel full of outnumbered rushes. I think there was one real clear one. We had a extended shift in their end. We shot the puck into somebody, and all of a sudden a 2-on-1, but the goaltender made the save. So that was a real good sign. I thought we were a lot more resilient. Obviously going down 2-0 was, and them scoring on the first shot on goal was not part of the plan. And at that point, we'd given up 7 straight goals. So you talk about being mentally tough. We didn't roll over and woe was us type attitude. We dug in a little bit more, so that's a real good sign for us. And I just thought we played with more pop and more energy. We were connected. And sometimes the first night does that to you, but we settled in. Pardon me.
I know it's only game 2, but to come out and play like that, did that team need to see that they can play that way?
Quite honestly, I think that team knows it can play that way. I believe they were all, to a man, really disappointed in what transpired the other night. But now they got rewarded for fixing it and for doing the work, and we've got to bottle that type of game up and continue on with it.
How key was Marco's goal just to kind of stem that?
Well, it was important. Prior to that, they had I think a deflection in our end that almost went in again. Both their goals were tips or deflections, feeder shots from the blue line, and prior to that, they almost scored again, and that would have been certainly deflating. Could we overcome it? I'm not sure. Especially since we had our own. I thought we had our own opportunities. Just their goaltender made some saves. We deflected some pucks over the net. There were scrambles we couldn't get to, but Marco's goal turned the tide for us.
And then just that late penalty kill, how key was that, especially?
Well, real important. You don't want to put that team on the power play, especially when you're 200 feet away from your net. It just makes no sense. So give the penalty killers and Talbs credit for getting us through that. And the extension of the penalty kill was the 6-on-5. They basically played the last 4 minutes, 4 of the last 5 minutes on the power play. I thought we did a real good job of holding our own there. Big test for us.
Yeah, Todd, speaking of the power play, just that 5-man unit there, I mean, they flourished last year, and it looks like they've just picked up where they left off. Just how important is it? I mean, they've got a goal in each of the first 2 games, but when they don't score, they also seem to give you a spark.
Yeah, it's what the power play has to at very least provide some momentum and some energy and excitement for the team, and it's impossible to score every time. But those 5 players, when they're clicking, and they're moving it quick, which they were tonight, they're dangerous. If they score, great. If not, as we leave and begin to play 5-on-5 again, we feel pretty good about ourselves. They've swung the tide our way for a little bit. So momentum's huge, and when it doesn't go well, you give the momentum back. Now you're scrambling. So I thought they did a good job of that tonight.
It had those 2 Lucas Raymond goals, gives him 100 in his career.
Well,
since you've been here, what's impressed you about him?
Everything. The competitiveness in him. He's a fiery guy. I didn't know he was as evasive with the puck. How he can pick his way through. Shot's tremendous. He's learning how to be a real good leader, and he commits to the defensive side of the puck. And I think if I remember last year, I used the comparison of Hank when he was here, Zetterberg. And I think I used that with Casper a little bit too. But those 2 players remind me of the way he played.
And Todd, the rookies again tonight, doesn't look like they're in awe of the moment at all. And especially Brian Signigar, even though he hasn't scored yet, you just watch him on the ice, and he just seems to have that sixth sense for getting to the open seams where he can get that shot away.
Yeah, he does that really well. I thought he was really heavy body, but heavy on his stick tonight too. He won a lot of stick battles to keep plays alive. When I'm standing behind the bench and Jans and Tangs are there, we feel 100% comfortable playing those kids right now. I hope that it continues that way, but they've earned our trust, and we feel good about putting them out. Finney went out 6-on-5. There's nothing wrong with playing them. They've shown they're capable of doing it. The test will be that as the grind goes on, it's not the same when you're playing for the Kamloops Blazers or you're over in the Swedish league playing only weekend hockey, but we'll help them with that.
Patrick Kane talked about how a change from that line, like kind of a timely change in the O-zone, helped set up one of their goals tonight. I mean, how important are some of those little unseen things in establishing the O-zone presence?
Game management. Some of you asked me what game management is, getting ahead on a change. We had them trapped a couple times where they were tired, especially in the second period, and we managed to hold on to the puck, get fresh players out. Well, now you're really rolling around, and Kaner's, I think it was Kaner's goal actually that came off of that. So game management, maybe we learned something.
Would you say that the guys rose to the challenge, if you will, about everything that you had to say following the loss on Thursday, especially after falling down behind and then not allowing it to spiral out of control?
I would say that 100% they did. Since we've got here, I find this team when they've been challenged, they do find ways. It's just you can't challenge them 82 times a year. It's those other times where it's just them coming to the rink and getting ready to play without us really poking them or prodding them. We got to get good in those areas. But I think back to last year, the days or the nights we challenged them, played 4-game road trip, ended in Seattle, if I remember correctly. Hey, we had won all 3. A lot of times teams, you know what, it's easy just to say, hey, a hell of a trip, let's get home. Challenge them there, they responded to it. There was a lot of challenges that they answered the bell. Tonight was another one of them. But like I said, you just can't as a coach do that 82 times. So we've got to learn to self-challenge, and they will.
And back to the rookies, Axel Sandin Pellica playing in all situations, power play, even strength, shorthanded. How have you liked his poise so far, even though it's only been 2 games of his career?
Appreciate him more and more each night. Like he's looking more and more comfortable. I think what all 3 of them have done is given themselves permission that they actually do belong here. They've earned it, and sometimes that's what young kids have to do, is just give themselves permission. Don't play afraid. And I think Axe has really he's done that. He's a confident, not an arrogant, but a very confident young man, and shows up.